This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Thursday, the 20th of April in the year 2023. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting. Here's what we're tracking tonight. An East Coast Demerara husband and wife who are believed to be hiding out in the U.S. are wanted by local police for the murder of police constable Quincy Lewis. In a statement this morning, the police force issued the bulletins for Takurdial Samaru and his wife Nakiba Zahid Zafarali. The last known address for the pair has been listed as Ogle Front Road, East Coast, Demerara. There are reports that the couple bolted from Guyana over a year ago after the police began closing in on them as suspects in the murder case. The policeman who was known to the wife, according to reports, is believed to have been lured to a house on the east bank of the Demerara on the 19th of June 2020, where he was shot dead. Investigators suspect that his body was later removed and taken to a sandpit area at Madwini along the Linden-Susnike Highway to be buried there. It was at Madwini that the police discovered the skeletal remains yesterday that it believes belonged to the policeman. Two persons who provided details about the burial site and the man's murder were taken into custody by the police and have been providing additional information, police sources have revealed them. The policeman, Quincy Lewis, was last seen alive leaving his home and boarding a car on his way to work. There were also reports at the time of his disappearance that he was spotted heading into the Greenfield area on the east bank of Demerara. After he was reported missing by his family, his phone was traced to a location at Temeri. However, it was found badly damaged. Police officials have indicated to news source that once it is confirmed that a wanted couple is hiding out in the U.S., efforts will be made to have them extradited. More news coming up in just a moment.
It's been a long time coming. Overdue, some might say, but now that it's here, it will change life forever, and it is here to stay. The future is now, transforming Guyana into the 21st century. Introducing GTT Fiber. Experience internet connectivity like never before. Speeds you deserve at prices you can afford from a name you can trust. Sign up today. GTT Fiber is here. GTT. Together, we rise faster.
At Giftland Office Max, we're all about customer satisfaction. Whether it's clothing and shoes for the ladies, gents, and kids, or for the latest electronics or hardware appliance, we're always thinking of satisfying you, our dear customers. Now you can shop online at www.giftlandofficemax.com or visit us at the Giftland Mall, where we're happy to serve each and every one of you.
Bust the flavors. We're full of flavors. Bust the flavors, that my crave for. We're full of flavors. Tell your neighbors about the bust the flavors. Grab a bust the flavors. Yeah, thirst buster. Grab a buster. Bust the flavor, taste the savor. Bust the flavors. Bust the flavors.
Strong and solid in countries far and wide. New India Assurance, we're standing by your side. Golden service, half a century and more. New India Assurance, our policies are secure. From the heart of India, we serve these islands. The strength that you can trust, you're safe when you come to us.
New India Assurance Company. Assurance when you need it most.
For your home, motor or business insurance, visit New India Guyana office, 58 Brickdam next to Star Computers. Telephone 2260-415-7. Comfortable parking available.
Days after submitting their lists of candidates for the upcoming local government elections, the ruling People's Progressive Party Civic and the main opposition of Partnership for National Unity are accusing each other of forging signatures of candidates and backers on each other's lists. At a press conference this morning, leader of the opposition and chairman of the APNU, Aubrey Norton, said the PP Civic has unpacked its old bag of tricks and has engaged in a scheme of coercion, intimidation, and bribery of voters. He said the compounded situation, the PP Civic has reportedly forged the signatures of several individuals on its list.
The APNU wishes to bring to the attention of all Guyanese that the PPP forged the signatures of many Guyanese. This is another manifestation of their corrupt nature. Many of those persons whose signatures were forged by the PPP in support of the PPP wrote GCOM demanding the withdrawal of their names. We await the outcome of that.
In support of the claims, the APNU released scanned copies of a number of statutory declarations made by PP Civic candidates, which, according to the opposition leader, contain the forged signatures. He said the APNU will be registering its objections at the level of the Elections Commission. Even as he continued to register his party's lack of confidence in the chairman of the Elections Commission, Norton accused GCOM of approving a defective list submitted by the PP Civic.
In the Woodlands Bel Air NEC, the PPP's list was rejected by GCOM officials because all the signatures for first past the post and proportional representation were assigned by one person. The PPP was given up to Tuesday, 18th April, to correct this illegality. They made another submission, and again all of them were signed by one person for everyone. Unfortunately, GCOM illegally has given them the go-ahead to participate. It must be noted that there are persons who are thumbprinters, and rather than their thumbprint appearing, they were signed for. This amounts to fraud and will be challenged.
And hours after the opposition leaders' press conference, the General Secretary of the PPP, Vice President Barra Jagdeo, laid similar claims at the feet of the APNU.
I agree with Mr. Norton on this point, that anyone who has committed any illegality in these elections should face the full brunt of the law. And so we are aware that Mr. Norton's party has forged many candidates, their signatures, placed them on lists that they never had any knowledge of. They've forged signatures for the backers, and we're taking steps to address this matter.
Mr. Jagdeo also disputed the claim by the opposition leader that the APNU is contesting in almost all of the constituencies spread across the 80 local authority areas.
Now, what are the facts? The facts are that APNU only contested in 279 of the 610 constituencies across the country. APNU contested, I'm repeating this, APNU is contesting in 279 of the 610 constituencies in the country. That's about 45% of all the constituencies in the country.
Jagdeo said due to the limited number of constituencies in which the opposition and other groups are contesting, it is clear that his party will overwhelmingly win the upcoming local elections.
So what this means that there will be no contest and no contest in about 283 of the 700 and 610 constituencies. That means that the PPP has already won those constituencies because we contested in all 610 right across the country. So we have already practically won 283 of the 610 constituencies.
Local government elections are set to take place on the 12th of June. Still in the world of politics, the leader of the PNC Reform, Aubrey Norton, denied that his party, which forms a major part of the APNU, is in a state of disintegration over concerns about his leadership style.
As far as I know, I have the support of the PNCR, members of parliament, for me the most important support is the support of the membership of this party and the people on the road and the ground. Those support I have. As far as I know, I have supported the members of parliament. When we had the budget, we were able to rally all the members of parliament and confronted the PPP budget and expose them.
And brushing aside the claims of disintegration within the party, Mr. Norton pointed to the coalition's ability to secure candidates to contest the local government elections in more than 75 of the local authority areas. He, however, admitted that in any organization there are likely members who are not in support of all the policies or positions taken. He said under his watch, the Central Executive Committee of the PNC Reform has been meeting regularly, with meetings held in January, February, and in March of this year.
But a lot of the decisions are made at the local level. At the level of the municipality, those members at the level of the municipality and the NDC met and decided who they want to run. One of the things I committed as leader of the party to change when I become leader was the situation where people sat at the center and determined for local government what they should do.
And as the country heads towards the local elections, the APNU is doing so without the support of one of its well-known local authority members, former City Mayor Patricia Chase Green. In the last local elections held in 2018, Chase Green, who was a constituency candidate for the APNU, raked in 2,212 votes in constituency number 12 here in Georgetown. But Mr. Norton, who played down her departure from the party, said Chase Green no longer has the support of her constituency.
You know, Chase Green was operating in Meadowbrook. Meadowbrook Chase Green long now. It's a while since the people of Meadowbrook would have rejected Chase Green. Ms. Chase Green has the right to choose whichever political party she wants to go to. That's her democratic right, and we have no problem with that. But we are aware of the fact that our candidate will beat the daylight out of her and that she's not well respected in the area.
Mr. Norton had earlier stated that she was placed on the city council through proportional representation at the last elections, when in fact she had contested in the constituency elections. For the upcoming elections, Chase Green is on the PPP's proportional representation list. Another former PNC member, Tricia Richards, who had also secured the most votes in her constituency during the last local elections, has also joined the ranks of the ruling party for the upcoming elections. Mr. Norton said defection in politics is nothing new in Guyana.
After any political party would have lost government, there is the tendency for some people, especially those who are not well grounded and rooted in the party, to go to another political party. Defection is not new in Guyana. Chandy Singh, Vincent Tika defected to the PNC in the 70s. In the case of Hamilton Green, I don't think it was a defection.
Many senior members of the opposition were not seen on nomination day as the candidates handed in their lists. The APNU will be launching its public meetings this weekend in a number of local government areas. The government and the Guyana Teachers Union began discussions today on a number of issues of concern to the nation's teachers and issues related to their welfare in the workplace. Meeting the teachers on behalf of the government were the Minister of Governance, Gail Teixeira, the Minister of Education, Priya Manik Chand, and the Minister of Public Service, Sonia Parag. The President of the Guyana Teachers Union, Mark Light, led the GTU delegation. He was accompanied by GTU General Secretary Coretta MacDonald and other GTU officials.
So there are a whole host of things happening. The things like the uniform or clothing allowance, duty-free scholarships at UG, all of those have continued, although in good faith, although the agreement is expired. So the intention is very clear that we are the government who would like to look after the welfare of teachers and make sure the education system generally does better for both children, learners, and the teachers in the system. And that's something we'll stay committed to.
So in a nutshell, the meeting was a fruitful one?
I think the union raised issues. We raised what were some of the things we were looking at. None of the issues are new. They're all pending. For example, the APNU issued a circular in 2016 that changed the way teachers were paid. So there's a big confusion about who is being paid what and who isn't being paid what, and whether all teachers are being paid at the same rate and so on. We're trying to fix that. It's a big mess, but we're trying to fix it. So they're all issues that we know about, that you know about, the public knows about, teachers know about. And so it's just stuff we're trying to hammer out.
The two sides are expected to meet again soon and look at a number of other issues related to the nation's teachers, including a long-term agreement that will cover their wages and salaries and other benefits.
Fireside sweet, standard and unique. Room fresh and nice, comfortable and neat. 24-hour whole day we a do it. Affordable price down a Garnet Street, yo. Can't vex, cause we top of the line. Fireside are the best, 5-star we a shine. From you come one time, we tag a left on your mind. To tell your family, your friend, them one more time say. Best service a Fireside Suite. Safety ensured down a Fireside Suite. Price them cheap down a Fireside Suite. Come enjoy your stay down a Fireside Suite. Fireside Suite located at 154 Garnet Street, Kitty. For bookings and reservation, call contact number 623-3473. Mate Queen.
Taxpayers, remember the submission of your income, property, corporation, capital gains, and partnership tax returns are due on or before April 30, 2023. Taxpayers are encouraged to file all relevant returns online and on time using Optimal's e-service platform. Don't forget to attach the necessary documents like the 7B slip if you are an employee or your financial statements if you are self-employed. Remember, you are also obligated to pay any outstanding taxes owed to the GRA on or before April 30, 2023. Payment should only be made to a GRA cashier at any of its offices or using online banking with Republic Bank, Demerara Bank, or GBTI. You can also use MMG and Bill Express to pay your taxes on time. Remember, the deadline for the filing of your income, property, corporation, capital gains, and partnership tax returns is April 30, 2023. GRA, your partner in development.
Ready for the ultimate event as Mackenzie Alumni Association presents official Night of Elegance. Reunion and fundraiser. It's going down on Friday, 21st April at the Edward Benjamin Conference Center, Linden, Guyana. Ticket donation $50. Dinner included. Come and enjoy the vibes of old school R&B and hip hop. It's the official Night of Elegance. Night of Elegance.
The Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit CANU is hunting a group of drug smuggling suspects following the discovery of $11.5 million worth of marijuana at Tushin new housing scheme on the east bank of Essequibo. In a statement today, CANU said that during an operation on Wednesday, its agents seized a total of 23 brick-like parcels of marijuana. The seized imported marijuana carried a weight of 63 pounds, according to CANU. The agency is tight-lipped on the suspects as its investigations continue. In the past few months, CANU has carried out a number of large marijuana busts in communities across the country, with the Berbice region leading with marijuana trafficking attempts. Today, CANU said it continues to work with other law enforcement agencies to stem the flow of narcotics in and out of the country, while maintaining an effective presence at the various points of entry. President Irfan Ali has indicated that his government is moving full speed ahead with the modernization of the marine sector amid the rapid increase in the number of ships traversing the country's waters as a direct result of the increase in economic activities linked to the oil and gas sector. The president at the time was delivering the keynote address at a commissioning ceremony of a $535 million pilot boat at a Coast Guard wharf in Georgetown yesterday.
The economic transformation of Guyana cannot be realized without the modernization of its maritime sector. Guyana is a low-lying coastal state and highly dependent on shipping for trade. It is bordered by the Atlantic, and its sea routes serve as highways for export of goods to other countries, and for most of the country's imports. Guyana therefore needs a modern maritime sector to support its economic ambitions.
The pilot boat named Arapaima is expected to increase the efficiency of the Maritime Administration Department in monitoring the country's waterways. It has a modern navigation system that meets international standards.
The acquisition of the Arapaima is a continuation of our efforts to give MARD a fleet of modern, reliable, fuel-efficient vessels that are capable of serving the needs of the shipping community and facilitating a modern marine sector.
And the Minister of Public Works, Juan Egil, disclosed that the pilot boat was manufactured in France based on key specifications outlined by MARAD. Minister Egil said Arapaima comes at a time when the growth in the economy is resulting in increased maritime traffic and will undoubtedly reduce the time it takes for pilots to reach ships out in the open waters.
On a daily basis, for example, the Demerara River Channel accommodates many ships, and these vessels must be directed safely in and out of the channel. And the number continues to increase yearly. In 2021, there were 2,513 ships requiring pilotage. Last year, that number increased by more than 300, and we have already surpassed last year's numbers to date.
He also said it will play an important part in ensuring safety on the country's waterways. For the director of MARAD, Captain Stephen Thomas, the boat comes at an opportune time.
For the past several decades, the operation of the pilot service have been limited by the absence of safe and reliable pilot boats. In the early 1980s, 4 new boats were acquired, 2 from the Netherlands and 2 from the United Kingdom. However, some 40 years later, only one of them is operational. However, it is slow and unreliable.
It was pointed out that one of the vessels used by the pilots is over 75 years old and has a maximum speed of 4 knots. He told those present that a new pilot boat was reportedly acquired by MARAD in 2018, but not so long after a new engine and other spare parts had to be purchased. Captain Thomas said to date it continues to face a whole host of problems. He said apart from their unreliability, the current fleet of aged vessels are very expensive to maintain and operate. According to him, the arrival of the new pilot boat is truly a dawn of a new era for pilotage in Guyana. Chief Scrutineer of the APNU, Carol Smith Joseph, has issued an apology to Guyana Chronicle reporter Tamika Garnett over an expletive-laced telephone call that took place yesterday. In that apology, however, Carol Smith Joseph said it should be noted that she believes the Guyana Chronicle is a political rag that is doing the bidding of the governing party, the PPP. She said including supporting trumped-up charges against political opponents and supporting what she called the dictatorial PP regime. She said in that regard, she can hardly find language to address the behavior of the Guyana Chronicle. In an audio recording of a telephone call that Garnett made to the APNU official, Carol Smith Joseph, seeking the party's list of candidates for the upcoming local elections, Smith Joseph told the reporter to not call her phone once she informed her that she was calling from the state-owned newspapers. The shocked reporter was left just saying wow after the expletive-laced exchange. In a statement, the Guyana Press Association hammered the opposition party over the verbal assault on the reporter. According to the GPA, the attack on the journalist marks a new low in relations between the media and the political directorate in Guyana. Following Smith Joseph's apology today, the APNU also issued an apology. The Guyana Press Association has found itself in recent months calling out both the government and the opposition over the treatment of journalists and the harassment of reporters. The GPA has indicated that it will continue to raise its voice on the issue and inform its international partners.
Food Max Supermarket, located on the ground floor of the Giftland Mall, is your one-stop shop for all your grocery needs. We stock a variety of imported frozen meat and food products, fresh produce, and pet supplies, freshly made bread. Rotisserie chicken and patties are also available daily. Shop in comfort today at Food Max and let our courteous staff assist you in satisfying your shopping needs. Food Max, the fresh food specialist.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Look who's in the mix now. The new Buster Soda Water. 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 artificial flavors. 100% refreshing. Taste Buster Soda Water today. Buster Soda Water. Now available for only $120.
Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up. Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Across the region tonight, Cuban lawmakers easily re-elected Miguel Diaz-Canel as president for a second term, as the country faces one of the biggest social and economic crises since Fidel Castro's 1959 revolution. Diaz-Canel, leader of the Communist Party, the country's only recognized political movement, won a landslide vote of 97.66% at the National Assembly, all of whose 470 members are aligned with the party. The newly elected president, in a televised speech, thanked cheering lawmakers for their support. Among the crowd was 91-year-old Raul Castro, who succeeded his brother Fidel Castro when he passed away. The assembly also re-elected Salvador Valdez as Cuba's vice president. The rejoicing is likely to be short-lived, reports Reuters news agency, as the incoming administration faces daunting challenges during its next 5-year term. An immigration officer in the British Virgin Islands has been charged in connection with a recent migrant smuggling incident. The Department of Immigration said Officer Naima Grante was arrested and charged with 3 counts of breach of trust. The investigation into Grande's alleged crimes took place after the police detained 3 Dominican Republic men that were attempting to enter the territory illegally. In a statement, the department said it is committed to upholding the law, and any identified wrongdoings by officers will be addressed. The department also said it wishes to acknowledge the technical support and assistance that was extended by the Customs and Royal Virgin Islands Police Force during the investigations. And finally tonight, international news. Police in Latin America have seized cocaine and other drugs worth $5 billion in an operation lasting 3 weeks and spanning 15 countries. They also seized more than 8,000 illegal firearms and carried out almost 15,000 arrests. Police forces from Mexico in the north to Argentina in the south exchanged information in the operation, which was coordinated by Interpol. Interpol said the arrests had disrupted the workings of several powerful gangs. Dubbed Trigger 9, the international effort was mainly aimed at fighting the trafficking of illegal firearms. Experts from the participating countries gathered at the center of operations in Brazil, close to the border with Argentina and Paraguay, from the 12th of March to the 2nd of April, reports the BBC. Interpol has long warned that the smuggling of weapons strengthens the gang's powers and further fuels their criminal activities, so there was a need to break down those gangs. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.